Hi everyone, I'm Pranita and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are making Sambar or Pappu Charu. So let's get. So here are the ingredients you're going to need for this recipe. Here to a pressure cooker I've added about 1.5 cups of Toor Dal. When I'm shopping for Toor Dal, I always look for the variety that is a little bit thinner and flatter than a puffy one. And this I've noticed that it gives better results and it has better flavor. So I also have the other ingredients that I'm going to use for this recipe. This is Anaheim pepper. This actually tastes and smells like bell pepper, but it's much more thinner and it has a lot of flavor, and I love using this in sambar. I also have some fresh chili peppers so that I can add a little bit of heat to the dish. I have a garlic cloves that I have mashed and I'm going to chop up before adding it to the dish. This is a spice called blackstone flower that I got it online, and this is so fragrant. Usually it's used in biryanis, but I love adding this in the sambar so that it gives a tons of flavor without adding any masalas or anything like that. I also have a tablespoon of chili powder and a teaspoon of salt. Since I'm adding chili peppers, I'm just using tablespoon. I have 1 cup of diced tomatoes. For 1.5 cups of lentils, I have 1 cup of onions that are also sliced, and I have 1 cup of tamarind that has been soaking in hot water for about 20 minutes. To this dal, what I'm going to do is cover it with water until half of the pressure cooker is covered, or double the amount of the lentils, and pressure cook it for about 20 minutes or about 4 whistles for my pressure cooker. Everybody's pressure cooker is different, so you need to keep an eye out, and if you know how many whistles your lentils is gonna get cooked, that's even better. So I'm going to add water, rinse it out, and start cooking. See, this is a medium saucepan. When I'm cooking sambar or anything in a huge quantity, I use a dish like this, but for everybody's convenience and so that I can show what I'm actually doing, I'm going to start off in a frying pan, and then I'm going to transfer everything to the medium saucepan. So let's get started, and let's turn on the heat on high, and I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of oil. That should be it. You don't need much oil when it comes to sambar. I've also added half teaspoon of mustard seeds, half teaspoon of cumin seeds. As you can see, they are spluttering. I'm going to add the spice so that it gets nice and toasted. The next thing, onions. Add a pinch of salt so that it brings out the water. Once your onions becomes translucent, we're going to go ahead and add these Anaheim peppers and the chili peppers and some curry leaves. These are dried curry leaves. That's all I could find. And then we are going to add the garlic. This is chopped up. And some turmeric. As I said earlier, I've added all the vegetables and they have been cooking for about 2 minutes. Time to add garlic. You want to add, even though with all these vegetables and all the moisture in this dish, you have to add the garlic at the end to make sure that it's not going to burn. Also time to add some turmeric. So meanwhile, while the lentils were boiling, I also squeezed the tamarind, and I'm going to add it now. As I said, I'm cooking about 1.5 cups of Toor Dal, so that's a lot of Toor Dal, and you're going to need a lot of tanginess. Once the tamarind juice has been added to the dish, go ahead and add the spices. I'm definitely going to add a little bit more water to thin it out, but now Next step is to add the cilantro and the diced tomatoes. This looks like a lot of vegetables and less liquid right now. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to add more water, let it come to boil, and transfer the tamarind juice and the lentil mixture together and boil it. So there's going to be a lot of water added right now. It's just for everybody's convenience. I'm cooking it in a frying pan. So bring it to boil. Now that we have added all the spices, we are going to let the flavors come together. And the next step is to mix it with the lentils and boil it for about 20 minutes. My liquid, the tamarind liquid, I've transferred it to other dish and it's coming to a boil. Now that it has come to boil, I'm going to add the lentils and boil it for about 20 minutes. After mixing the lentils, it should look like this, and it's not too thick, it's not too thin, and it will take about 15-20 minutes to come together, and it looks so beautiful. You can add some more cilantro on the top. So here is the sambar ready to be served. Thanks for watching. You can find this recipe and many more at booklesscooking.com.